Oh, hello, Amira Alvarez here, founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. And today I want to talk to you about confusion. When you are confused, what does it mean for you, your business, your hopes, your dreams, your goals, what you're going after? So, whenever there is confusion, this is the adage that you need to make clear for yourself. Whenever there is confusion, there is a lie. There is a story that you're telling yourself about the situation because we live in clarity. That is our truth. We always know. We always know what our next step needs to be, the next choice we need to make, where we need to go. But when there is confusion or fear or any sort of noise on the line, you are being taken out of your natural state. Your natural state is knowing because you're connected to spirit, source, the universe, all the power that is. Okay? That's a conversation for another time. But our natural state is always knowing. We always know what to do. So if you are not actually clear about what you need to do next, there is a story that you're telling yourself, some sort of lie, some sort of inaccuracy about the situation. And you need to identify what that is. Now, here's the thing. I've been on client calls all day long, and I've been talking to fabulous woman after fabulous woman, and throwing a guy there too, because some of my clients behind the scenes are men as well. And they're all going after it, right? They all tell me what they want. And then my job is to help them figure out where the lie is, where the inaccuracy in their thinking is that is keeping them stuck or stopped, because we want to be unstoppable. We want to be continuing to go quickly forward towards our goals, towards our hopes, towards our dreams, and not be blocked or in resistance or in some sort of distraction or procrastination about what we're doing or what we need to do. So what does this look like? So you have a few examples. Well, for one person, we had a conversation and they asked me, well, I want to talk about X, Y, and Z. Now, this was something that they emailed me about 2 days earlier. I gave them the next step. So they didn't really need any more information in order to take action. So what is the story or the lie that they're saying there? Okay. They're just afraid, and this is what we pulled out, they're just afraid of doing it wrong, of being rejected, of putting something out there and it not being good enough, and having the outside world reflect that to you and then feeling bad about yourself. Okay? Now, the way forward is to do it, realize that that's not a truth. The outside world cannot make you feel less about yourself unless you allow it to. Okay? Unless you already feel less about yourself. So if you step into a place of worth and then you go do the thing that you need to do and you get a negative response, it's not the response that you want, then it's fine. It's just a response. It's just information. It's just data. There is nothing that you need to make that mean. So the story is that other people can destroy your self-esteem, that other people have power over you, that other people create your level of security. Not if you know how to work with yourself. They don't. Okay. Another story that came up in a conversation with a client today was, I can't do that because someone else is already doing that, and I feel like a fraud if I do that, or I'm doing something wrong by doing something similar. And not like, I had to ask her some very pointed questions about the industry that she was in. And let's use a different industry, so I'm not telling tales out of school here. But let's say you're a tennis player and you want to go and win Wimbledon. But then you start thinking, Serena already is doing that. And so in my hometown has that same goal and dream. What I would ask that person is, how many people have the goal or dream to win Wimbledon? How many tennis players go for it and try? How many Olympic athletes are there? Right? There's not a scarcity here in the ability for you to do your thing with full self-expression. You're not taking away anything from anyone else. Zero. You do you, and there are infinite ways of doing your thing in your industry. Okay? So the lie there was, I can't do it because someone else has done it already. Well, no one's going to do it like you. No one. Okay, what about if I ask for the sale and I get a no, right? Like someone not doing sales calls. That was on a coaching call today as well. So what's the lie there? Well, fundamentally, and most of you have heard this already, you're already at no. If you haven't had the call, if you're not asking, right? If you're not engaged, you're already at no. You've got nothing left to lose, right? And yet the lie is that someone can tell you no, and it can make you be a lesser person than you are. That something outside of you can determine who you are. And that's an untruth. That's just not true unless you allow it to be. Okay? So there's this fear of rejection, and yet the rejection in and of itself is a lie, right? Unless you give it power, unless you create that story, unless you hand your power over to someone else. Another thing that came up on my back-to-back coaching call day was I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. I'm not going after my goal or dream because I'm so distracted by this other thing over here that is a big deal, and that's why I can't do it. Now, there is some truth to the fact that, you have to manage your time, right? You have to actually manage yourself in respect to time, okay? Because time management is really mind management. Now, that being said, if you really wanted to go after your dreams and you weren't afraid of it, you wouldn't let anything distract you. So there's something in this that is keeping someone from owning what they really want. And they're using the experience that's happening out here and calling it distraction as a reason not to claim what they really want and go for it. Because what they really want is so big, so bright, so incredible, and is going to require so much of them that they're scared. They're scared to step forward and claim it and own it and say, I really want that. I'm going to create that in my life. So instead, this over here is distracting me, and this is what's stopping me. But it's not true. That's a story. All distraction is just a story that keeps you from moving forward and doing your work in this world. So remember that. If you're confused, if you don't know what your next step is, if you feel like you can't focus, that you can't prioritize, there's some sort of story that you're telling yourself that's keeping you from moving forward. Figure out what that is and do the thing anyway. Okay, rock it out, guys. Be unstoppable. Have an awesome day. Take care. Bye.